Spring is here, and the deals are hotter than ever at Shack Shop. Turn heads with stunning bikinis, now on sale. Explore the deep with cutting-edge underwater drones. Gear up for adventure with durable tents for every trip. Ride into spring with unbeatable deals on bikes. Fresh styles, women's fashion, and must-have looks, all discounted. Don't miss the Shack Shop Spring Fling Sale. These prices won't last. Shop now and make this spring unforgettable, only at Shack Shop.
Vanished in the dark, inside the mysterious disappearance of an American woman in the Bahamas. A quiet evening in the Bahamas turned into a haunting mystery when an American woman disappeared under circumstances that continue to raise troubling questions. What began as a retirement dream, sailing turquoise waters and sharing adventures online, has now become a case filled with uncertainty, conflicting accounts, and emotional pleas for answers. A dream life at sea. For Lynette Hooker, retirement wasn't meant to be ordinary. At 55 years old, she and her husband, Brian Hooker, had embarked on a journey many only fantasize about, living aboard a boat, exploring coastal waters, and embracing a slower, more adventurous pace of life. Friends describe Lynette as energetic, health-conscious, and deeply committed to this new chapter. The couple had purchased a vessel in Texas and spent nearly a year refurbishing it, turning it into both a home and a symbol of their freedom. They documented their journey on social media, gaining a modest following as they sailed along the Gulf Coast and eventually into the Bahamas. Photos and videos painted a picture of contentment, sunsets over calm waters, dinners on deck, and snapshots of island life. But beneath the curated images, some now wonder if everything was as idyllic as it appeared. The night everything changed. On a Saturday evening in Hopetown, located on Elbow Cay in the Abaco Islands, the couple had dinner at a well-known local spot before heading back to their anchored yacht. It was just after sunset, around 7:30 p.m., when they departed in a small dinghy, a secondary boat typically used to travel between a yacht and shore. Conditions that night were far from ideal. According to rescue officials and local responders, winds were strong, seas were choppy, there was no moonlight yet, making visibility extremely poor. Darkness had fully set in. Despite these challenges, the couple set off across the water. What happened next is known only through Brian Hooker's account. A sudden fall into darkness. Brian told authorities that while they were en route to their yacht, Lynette fell overboard. He claimed she had the ignition key with her at the time, which caused the engine to shut off instantly when she entered the water. With the boat disabled and his wife drifting away in the darkness, Brian said he was unable to retrieve her. Instead, he reportedly used a paddle to navigate back toward shore, eventually reaching a marina in Marsh Harbor. Hours passed. It wasn't until approximately 4 a.m., more than 8 hours after leaving the restaurant, that Lynette was officially reported missing. By then, any immediate rescue window had significantly narrowed. Search efforts and grim realities. Local authorities, including the Royal Bahamas Police Force and other rescue agencies, launched a search operation soon after the report. Helicopters, boats, and search teams combed the surrounding waters. But the conditions that night, and the time delay, worked against them. Within days, the mission transitioned from a rescue to a recovery effort. Experienced responders noted that falling overboard at night in rough conditions is one of the most dangerous scenarios in boating. Even strong swimmers face overwhelming odds due to disorientation in darkness, strong currents, rapid fatigue, difficulty spotting a person in open water. Despite these realities, questions surrounding the incident only intensified. A friend's perspective, a lot of bad decisions. Richard Cook, a team leader with a local volunteer fire and rescue group, spoke candidly about the situation. He did not suggest foul play. Instead, he pointed to what he described as a series of poor choices. Operating a small dinghy at night in rough waters with sufficient lighting or backup safety measures created a high-risk situation from the outset. According to Cook, experienced boaters generally avoid traveling in pitch darkness unless necessary, using small vessels in heavy wind, navigating without proper safety gear. From his perspective, the tragedy may have stemmed from compounding mistakes rather than malicious intent. But not everyone agrees. A daughter's doubts. Lynette's daughter, Carly Aylesworth, has publicly challenged the narrative. In multiple interviews, she expressed deep skepticism about Brian Hooker's account. According to Aylesworth, her mother rarely, if ever, operated the dinghy. It was typically Brian who handled the boat. The claim that Lynette had the ignition key seemed unusual.
She also described her mother as physically strong and steady, someone unlikely to fall accidentally under normal circumstances. But her concerns go beyond inconsistencies. She has alleged a troubling history between her mother and Brian. Allegations of past violence. Aylesworth claims there were previous incidents involving aggression. She described situations where Brian allegedly became hostile while drinking, engaged in verbal provocation, displayed threatening behavior. More alarmingly, she stated that there had been instances where her mother was allegedly choked, threatened with being thrown overboard. These claims have not been confirmed by authorities, and Brian Hooker has not been charged with any crime. However, they have added a layer of complexity to an already mysterious case. For Lynette's family, the lack of answers is deeply painful. Brian Hooker has not publicly commented on the allegations. Attempts by media outlets to reach him have gone unanswered. Legal experts note that remaining silent in such situations is not uncommon. Criminal defense attorneys often advise clients to avoid making public statements, especially when an investigation is ongoing. Silence in this context does not imply guilt, but it can contribute to public suspicion. A common yet devastating scenario. Some experts in maritime rescue and dive operations suggest that the incident, while tragic, may not be unusual. Former dive team members have pointed out that falling overboard from small vessels is more common than people realize. Nighttime incidents dramatically reduce survival chances. Even minor missteps can escalate quickly in open water. In their view, the circumstances described, if accurate, align with known patterns of boating accidents, yet the unresolved questions continue to linger. Key unknowns. Several critical details remain unclear. Was Lynette wearing a life jacket? How far from shore did the incident occur? Were there any witnesses nearby? Why was there such a long delay in reporting the disappearance? Each unanswered question fuels ongoing speculation. Social media, a window into their life. Just days before the incident, Lynette appeared in a social media post smiling on a boat deck. The caption suggested they planned to stay put for a while, enjoying their surroundings. To followers, it looked like a peaceful moment. Now it serves as a haunting reminder of how quickly circumstances can change. The role of alcohol. Aylesworth also raised concerns about alcohol use. She described behavioral changes in Brian when drinking, saying he could become confrontational and deliberately provocative. While there is no official confirmation that alcohol played a role on the night of the incident, it is a factor investigators typically consider in maritime accidents. Boating risks on the Bahamas. The Bahamas is a popular destination for boating, but it comes with risks. According to travel advisories, boating regulations can vary. Safety enforcement may be inconsistent. Accidents involving jet skis and small vessels have occurred. Visitors are often advised to exercise caution, particularly in unfamiliar waters. Investigation continues. Authorities in the Bahamas, along with U.S. officials, are continuing to review the case. So far, no charges have been filed. No definitive conclusion has been announced. The case remains open. For Lynette's family, the lack of answers is deeply painful. Carly Aylesworth has made it clear that she is not satisfied with the current understanding of events. She wants a thorough investigation, consideration of all possible scenarios, accountability if wrongdoing is found. Her goal is simple: to uncover what truly happened to her mother. A story without closure. At its core, this case is about uncertainty. Was it a tragic accident caused by poor decisions and harsh conditions, or is there more beneath the surface, something yet to be uncovered? Until more evidence emerges, the disappearance of Lynette Hooker remains a mystery suspended between possibility and doubt.